everybody. This is Chelsea's Tarot Readings, and for this video, I'm so excited to do this video. Actually, I think it was a great idea. I'm going to show you guys, especially for those of you who find this as an inspiration and find this as a possible career move or whatever, or just for fun, just to read other friends. Like, if this really isn't something like you're that passionate about to, do something over, which you don't have to be, just, if you just want to learn it, that's fine. So, or become familiar. So basically, I started with this tarot deck, which is the original Rider-Waite. It is the best tarot deck for beginners, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe there's a better deck out there, but I feel as though this is the most well-known, and it depicts the card's meanings as a whole. So I do sage a lot, so I wanted to include that in this video, the fact that I do sage because it's good for the energy. I have a lot of decks, so I actually sage my decks often. I sage my crystals. I sage like everything literally. So my best advice is sage, sage, sage. So maybe when you get your first deck, or if you have one already, just buy some sage. I just get mine online, but you can get them at a store too. But yeah, get some sage. That way you can kind of cleanse the energies on your deck. Because, I mean, actually though, to be honest, it's just my preference. But you can really clear or cleanse your deck just by shuffling. Like, no lie. Like, it's matter of, shifting the energy and kind of clearing it out. And I feel as though sage definitely goes above and beyond with that, which is why I prefer that. But I also shuffle too. I shuffle my cards at the end of each reading. I don't shuffle them before. Well, I do sometimes. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll shuffle it a little bit, but I mostly shuffle at the end of my readings to get rid of the energy. That way, it's brand new. So it's brand new right when I go into my reading. Like I said, I do shuffle a little bit before, just to kind of get the cards out, but that's about it. So let's get, I'll talk about crystals as well. I'll talk about crystals a little bit. I won't get too into it. I'm still learning more about them and reading books more, but crystals are also really lovely to have for tarot readings. Different crystals have different meanings and energy, and also there's different ways to recharge your crystals, such as leaving them in the moonlight, that sort of thing. I like placing them on top of the deck, because especially the clear crystal, because it cleanses the deck. So that's why. I mean, rose quartz and amethyst are really nice crystals as well. I have those here. So I wanted to do, all right, let's pretend I'm a new tarot reader. All right, let's pretend like this is my first reading. So I got my deck. Hello. And I got this spread. And the first card is who I think I am. The second card is who I really am. And then the third card I'm going to pull is who others think I am. So this is going to be random. Therefore, the second one's not going to make sense either for me, because it's just to show you, or who knows. So for the first card, who I think I am. So see how I'm just shuffling? I go like this, because when shuffling, when it gets too chaotic with the cards, you can always go like this and kind of pat it down. To me, this is symbolic also of getting rid of any negative energies or previous energy. Who I think I am. And when I say you'll know when to stop, you will. For others, this is different. For others, you might find, I don't know when to stop, and that's weird. So the best advice for that is to wait for the cards that jump out, because other tarot readers will also just pull jumping cards, which that's not what I do. I actually use my intuition when I'm doing spreads. Who I really am, who others think I am. So I'm on the third card, who others think I am. Okay. So I have my cards. I put my tarot deck aside. And now it's time to look at these cards and kind of interpret the meanings. So, who I think I am. Who I think I am. So, if you do this spread and you pull the Magician, you think, this is basically saying you think you are someone who is very powerful, someone who can manifest whatever it is they want. However, it does have a lot to do with self-power and being a creator, that sort of thing. And basically, when you're new at tarot reading, you need to make sure you're studying these meanings. So make sure that you don't need to fully know the meanings, but make sure when you're doing readings, you're at least looking the meanings up, and then kind of using your intuition to guide you as well. But that's what I did. I just I would read about the meanings for each one. I would just keep going back until I memorized the meanings, because obviously you end up memorizing them. So yeah, the Magician is basically just someone who creates whatever they want. Someone who is magical. That is what you think of when you think of a magician. So who I think I am. Who I really am. 5 of Wands. So if I was reading this, who I really am. I would be someone who is very seems like very confrontational, someone who gets into a lot of arguments, which is, again, this is not a tarot spread I did on myself, this is random, so but yeah, you are just someone who I feel it could be like a lot of drama. That's what I get from that. So that's kind of, you can pull other cards too. So if you're kind of like, ew, I didn't really like that, you could pull a clarifier and kind of see what else, and see if anything, obviously positive comes out. But this isn't really seen as a negative way. Just it's someone who gets what they want. It's someone who isn't afraid of getting through others. And with the 5 of Wands, again, when you're teaching, sorry, there's going to be a cut in this video because my fiance was talking to me. He didn't know I was doing a video. So the last card is who others think I am. So again, this could just be for who I really am, someone who deals with a lot of conflict. So who others think I am. Knight of Cups. So others, if I was reading this from, thinking, using my intuition, notice this is the Knight of Cups. Usually he's portrayed as a young water sign. Notice the cup. Cups equal water. But don't it's, they tell you not to focus too much on the signs or the well, not really the elements. Actually, you must focus on the elements, because the elements have a lot to do with who you are, how you handle things. So basically, I would see this as other people think I am romantic and just seen as very charming, which, yes, even females can be seen as very charming. Someone who is, does things with love and is loved and appreciated, I feel like. So that's how you would read that. And again, the Knight of Cups is cup, so the element water has to do with feelings. That's what it's related to. So this is also talking about, you know, seducing people with not only you know, your physical but mental as well, and, you know, the actual inside, like being able to sway. That's what I want to say. Yeah, there's a few things. So that would be a really good reading. So if you kind of went along with me through this and you were like, wow, yeah, like I get it, great, because that was using your intuition as well as incorporating the card meanings. I wouldn't say intuition. I would say more I went off the meanings, but it's only because this isn't a complex reading, and this reading is specifically for beginners. Well, I could do it too, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not gonna make it that complicated because you know, I'm doing this from like a beginning level. Okay, I thought you guys would maybe like this spread. This one is their feelings, your feelings, and advice. So I'm just gonna take my deck here. I'm gonna shuffle it a little bit. Okay. So first card is their feelings. Sorry, my nose is your feelings, advice. Sometimes they do come in a row as well. Well, that wasn't really in a row, but the last two came out like right after each other. So I'm gonna put this to the side, that way I can kind of put this into view. Yeah, there we go. So the first card is their feelings. So their feelings, Four of Swords. So swords is a suit more of thinking. Swords is related to the element air, and the Four of Swords in general is a card about resting, because notice he's resting, or she, I don't know, they're resting on this coffin looking thing. And when it comes to feelings, this isn't deep like it, because it doesn't talk about emotions, but for feelings, I would read this as not really thinking about it or not caught up on it. It's not that they don't care, or it's not that you're not on their mind. It's just that they're trying to quiet that part of their mind, if that makes sense. Because again, this is about their feelings. So you got to kind of look at the swords as cups, even though it's not. You have to kind of figure out how you can relate the Four Swords to someone's feelings. But that's how I would relate it. And again, your own intuition is going to tell you different things. Not saying that my intuition's wrong. It's just, I'm just saying, like, you would pull different cards because of different reasons and have different explanations. Every tarot reader is different. And then, so the second one is your feelings. Wow. So this is actually a grown, older male earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So with court cards, they usually represent a person. So this could be saying, you know, this could be showing up as the person, saying like you have strong feelings for this person and you see them on a higher level, and someone who brings a lot of abundance to your life. And again, because regardless, notice like he has a lot. He has all these grapes on his robe, like there's a castle, like he has a lot. Look, he got like a staff. He's like, I got all this money and I know it. So basically, your feelings basically would be like your swoon over this person. Like you would think of them on a high level, if that makes sense. Because mind you, it's also a king. So yeah, you would see them on like a higher level. Again, this even actually doesn't have to do with feelings in general, because it's not, notice it's not a cup sign. So I feel this would mean technically I would be more attracted to the abundance, and that's how I would be feeling about the person, like, or attracted to them, and that's basically where it ends. Like, that's where it stops. And for them, it's kind of about them not really thinking, trying not to think about it, that sort of thing. So their feelings, your feelings, and then advice. Wow, interesting. I actually saw the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So your advice is, so if I was pulling this, and I was new to tarot reading, like, I don't know why I keep saying this, I would be like, notice, what did I tell you? Swords has to do with the mind. So Ace of Swords, I also, another word is communication. So Ace, start of communication. So the advice is to communicate. The advice here is to start a conversation and have some kind of exchange of words, because Ace of Swords is, again, really has to do with communication, especially when it comes to like a their feelings, your feelings type of spread. I feel this would just be like communication is needed for something to start, because Ace is beginning, so for something to start or restart. But yeah, guys, so those were the two spreads. So again, I'll go through it one more time. Not the spread, but like, just in case you want to write it down so you can pause it right now. So for this spread, again, the first card was their feelings. Second card, your feelings. Third card, advice. Okay. Second spread, who I think I am, who I really am. Third card, who others think I am. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I actually enjoyed this, and I hope that it gives you guys a better understanding of tarot in general. I really hope it helps you guys. Much love and light. So much love and light to you guys.